Thank you all for coming. This is a strange format, but I think I explained some of it last night to some of you. I hope it's going to work out today. It's basically we're trying to create a conversation here to discuss this extraordinarily important topic. We are, as you can see, filming this. This is a Science Network production. The Science Network has its headquarters here at the Salk Institute. And if you look inside the program, on the inside front cover, you'll see a very brief description about what we'll do. The idea is to build a multimedia programming platform that will be a trusted destination for those concerned with science and its impact on society. We're also doing this in conjunction with the Crick Jacobs Center here at the Salk. And there's a couple of people I'd like to recognize in the audience who, if there's here, one is, oh yes, they're sitting at the back there extraordinarily. One is Rita Bronofsky. Rita, good morning. How are you? I suppose if there's any reason, one reason that I could lay to actually standing here doing this morning, it's watching The Ascent of Man in England growing up as a kid and just thinking what an extraordinary production that Jacob Bronofsky did. And thinking, I wonder if one could make a living doing that sort of thing. Looks really impressive. So I was completely taken by what Bruno did there, and got to know the family. And this is a sort of a full circle for me to be back here at the Salk Institute, where of course Bruno came and was a deputy director and instigated some programs which were very much about the communication of science, the two cultures, and the intersection of science and society issues. So this is, to me, the place to be doing this kind of a program, and it's sort of a tribute to Jacob Bronofsky and to Rita that we're doing this, and also, of course, to Francis Crick, one of the first people I met in coming here in 1976 to talk to people about Bronofsky. In fact, was Francis. Sadly, no longer with us, but again, you'll see the description inside the front cover about the Crick Jacobs Center. And we're extremely happy that Odile Crick is here this morning as well. We're going to do, let me just explain the format. We're covering three basic themes. The first one is the clash of cultures, religion and science. Is this, in fact, a zero-sum game, or is there some compatibilist position that we can find? The second broad theory, the broad thread, is can we be good without God? So how do you get morality? Is there some evolutionary explanation, or do we actually have to have a religious explanation? And the third strand is, if not God, then what? What do we do in terms of these, what people have called spirituality? What do we do about meaning? How do we talk about purpose? What do you do, in fact, as we say in the program here, can science help us create a new rational narrative as poetic and powerful as those that have traditionally sustained societies? Those are the three basic topics that we'll be dealing with. We will be dealing with topic one to begin with, which is the clash of cultures, and Steven Weinberg will lead off on that. And then after the break, we'll go on to the third one, the if not God, then what, which is actually a natural segue. We'll hopscotch over the morality issue, and do that this afternoon when Richard Dawkins arrives, which will be about 11 o'clock. Just one thought. There was a terrorist plot, an extremist religious plot, uncovered on November the 4th, last night, in fact, in London. The perpetrators had put a huge amount of gunpowder under the Houses of Commons. And the leader was, in fact, they managed to get in there. I don't know if you know this story, but they managed to get in there because there was the space under the Houses of Commons was for rent. And you could just go and rent space under there. So these people cheerfully wheeled in great crates of gunpowder and so on and so forth. Somebody was a weasel and let the story out, and the person who was the ringleader, a man called Guy Fawkes, was apprehended. This is in England when I was growing up. Today, November the 5th, is Guy Fawkes Day, Gunpowder Plot, when this group of Catholic extremists tried to blow up the Houses of Commons. So this kind of clash of cultures, if you like, clash of religions has been going on for a long time. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to solve it all in these 2.5 days, but I certainly hope that in the Enlightenment tradition we'll be able to throw some more light on it. With that, the other thing I'd like to say is that I'm not going to spend a lot of time with honorifics and descriptions of who people are. You can get most of this from the program, which explains the whole story. Steven Weinberg, very briefly though, is Professor of Physics and Astronomy at the University of Texas, Austin. And for me, what is most important is the extraordinary things that he's written. I think his books are just a wonderful example of the combination of the two cultures. They're elegant, they're taut, they're incisive, and I welcome him to this podium.
Well, as shown by the fact that we're here on a beautiful day inside talking about these things, the tension between science and religion, this old problem, is still with us. In the United States, it has surfaced to the greatest extent in arguments over the theory of evolution. According to one poll taken by the Pew Foundation, 62% of Americans don't believe humans evolved from earlier life forms. This has been a big political issue in Kansas and Ohio and other places. Perhaps because of the way this issue has appeared politically in the United States, many people talk about the conflict between science and religion as simply a matter of misguided biblical literalism, and that the conflict can be resolved. Many people think the conflict can be resolved simply by recognizing different scopes for science and religion. This was expressed by Galileo in a letter to Christina of Lorraine. He said, "The intention of the Holy Ghost is to teach us how one goes to heaven, not how heaven goes." He was actually quoting a cardinal of the church, the Vatican librarian, Cardinal Baronius, in saying this. So this is an old opinion that as long as we recognize the separate magisteriums of science and religion, no problem. Stephen Gould and Freeman Dyson, both friends of mine, have argued this. They put it simply: science deals with fact, religion deals with values, end of the story. And many religious people, especially in the West, would agree, and especially in the main denominations, the mainline denominations. And the Templeton Foundation is ready with lots of cash for people who will support this point of view. I don't think it's so easy. I think that the tension between science and religion has deeper roots than an argument over biblical literalism. I think that religion and science will go on for some time having negative effects on each other. For one, it's clear biblical literalism is not the only problem, because it's an ancient problem that has been met and solved many times in the past. There was a time in the history of the early church when some church fathers read verses in the book of Genesis and other parts of the Bible as indicating that the earth was flat, and hence rejected the existing Greek understanding that the earth is a sphere. But this was resolved. These people really didn't care very much what the shape of the earth was.